SoundRadix booth with Nair, and he has a new product out called Powair. Powair?
That's right. So Powair is a completely new kind of approach to compression. It has two stages. The first stage is a loudness leveler, so it's actually measuring loudness rather than RMS or peak levels. And because of that, it's a little more natural the way it reacts, and also compatible for broadcasting and stuff like that. So that's the first stage of Powair. The second stage is a completely redesigned compression engine, not using any of the classic or used envelope followers. We developed our own unique engine to detect the gain and to do the actual gain reduction. And just to expand on this a little bit, what makes the biggest difference in compressors is the way they detect gain and levels, and it makes the gain changes. So in an optical compressor, there's actually a diode that lights, and the stronger it lights, the more you get, the more compression you get. And because it's kind of slow, you get that kind of smooth movement, right?
Right.
With VCAs, you get much faster compression. So that's what makes, other than the other, the transformers and stuff. So that's the main character. Here we developed, we take advantage of this machine, and we developed an engine that actually listens to the music and takes, instead of just being kind of ignorant of the source, actually trying to analyze what's going on in there and makes the best absolute decisions on how to make those gain changes and when and how fast. And that's why it can do quite heavy compression, and it'll sound transparent. You won't hear it pumping, or you won't get any of all those artifacts.
Yeah, that's what I was really impressed with. You were hammering it, and I couldn't hear any artifacts. Although it's loud in here, but I plan on testing it out in the studio.
Right.
So yeah, why don't you show us how simple and ergonomically designed it is, because it's really user-friendly too.
Yeah. So let me load a bass track or a vocal track. So here I've got this vocal track. I'll loop it here for a second, just so. Orange was never formed. Now many of you may remember the original Orange locomotive from 1998. Right. So I'll start with the leveler section. I'll just level the vocal, just kind of get it into the ballpark of my levels. And the leveler, it will bring up, if the sound is lower than my target level, it'll bring it up. If it's louder, it'll bring it down.
So it does an expansion in.
Exactly. Okay. So we can, my gain range is 3 dB, but I can do it 60 dBs. Goes up to 20. Okay. And when it's turquoise color, then it's bringing it down. When it's kind of the gold color, it brings the level up. And that's it. We have a noise floor to set the noise floor level. So you won't bring up the noise.
Right.
And that's it really. Just set the target level, and it'll just do the job.
But that's going to really simplify, for a lot of people that don't understand compressors very well and levelers.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, very simple.
Really, really, really simple.
Right. And from here, we'll go into the compressor stage. And I can push it quite a lot. And one of the another innovations we introduced here is the auto McCabe's gain.
Right.
And we actually use machine learning to analyze the source. So we always remain at unity gain.
Right.
One of the big challenges I personally have with compressors is that because the gain constantly changes as you change the settings of the compressor, it makes it difficult to really make a decision on what things are good, because level is one of the biggest influences on how I make the decision. Everything, if something is louder, is constantly sounding better.
Right.
So it was very important for me to have that feature, and we worked quite hard on it. So, and if you notice, as I'm driving the compressor more, the level remains the same, even though I'm now compressing, like I'm reducing like 12 dBs, right, even more. Okay, it's still the same loudness.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
But you can hear how vocals are more intense now, how they're punchy.
Yeah, they're definitely more in your face.
Exactly. And since we're talking about punch, another innovation we introduced here is you can actually control the transients level separately from the attack time. Usually with compressors, if you want less punch, less transients, you have to reduce the attack time.
Right.
Here you don't have to do it. You can actually dial the color of the attack the way you want it by setting a different attack time, and then use punch to control how much of it you want. So if that's too punchy for me, I can just reduce it, down to 0, and then it's like a brick wall limiter. Okay, and if I want more punch,
that's great.
Okay, and every single parameter here that you're using, everything goes through the machine learning algorithm as you change it. So you always remain the same level.
Right.
And
it's hard to really make a technically bad mistake with this. It seems like you've designed it so it's really hard for people to make an ugly sound that they don't want, right?
Yeah, you actually hear what you actually hear the impact that it's going to do in the mix.
Awesome.
And another one, maybe last one for this one, is the adaptive compressor. That's a completely another new innovation. Is if you want to have the compressor color, but you want to keep the dynamics of the performance, the adaptive compression will keep the compression effect, but it will keep the actual level changes of the performance, right? So if you had a vocalist singing softly in the verse and then really loud in the chorus, you can keep her dynamics while retaining the compression sound.
That's great.
And this feature was requested by Frank Filippetti. In one of the show, he said, "Listen, I have this problem, the vocalist, and when she hits the chorus, it gets clamped and pumping, and I just want the compressor to react to my input more naturally." So
that's going to be awesome, and that'd probably work in post-production really well too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it works. It works great, and anywhere you want to you want the compression effect. But to maintain
to keep retaining a little bit of
the dynamics, exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, great on pianos. One of the favorite things they like to do with compressors is really compress the heck out of pianos, because then you get the attack sound, the sustain. But the problem is if the piano player plays softly, you don't get that sound. So you have to compress it more in the verses and then change. With Powair, you can get that sound and still retain the performance of the pianist, so that's really cool.
And so this is out shipping now, right? It's available.
Yeah, it's available now. It's $149. We have a free demo you can download and try it on your machine, and yeah.
Awesome. And I noticed it does MS also, which sounds great too.
Right. Exactly. MS, we have sidechain filters, which are band pass and band reject. And as a trick, you can also use the band filters even without using sidechain. So if you click on the solo button, the filters will be post compression. And that's nice if you just need like just filter instead of loading another plugin. It's a very smooth filter as well, so it's very gentle.
Well, cool, Nair. Congratulations. This looks awesome.
Thanks for
Look forward to checking it.